Shreyas, it is more of that flamboyance, that clarity. Uh, Whatever team you have or whatever facilities you have, try to make most out of it. His confidence is something that just drives off everyone,
True.
because someone who is very clear on what he wants to do, and once he has set his mind towards it, he knows he has to go in that direction. Simple as that. I've been always trying to think of what caduceness means, and how much ever I think it is about. It all comes down to this thing: is that okay, today I'm down, tomorrow again I will be up. Today I'm down, tomorrow again I will be up. In this situation I am down, next situation I will be up. So I could find that resonance within the concepts as well, the strength and conditioning concepts and the yogic concepts. They might they might look different, they might look low intensity and high intensity, but if you look at the driving force at the base, they both are connected and gradually evolve into the higher intensity. We always say, for the players, you have to increase your concentration, you have to increase your consistency, you have to increase your awareness.
Yeah.
But how?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cricket Times. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Vishal Chitrakar, the strength and conditioning coach of Mumbai Ranji team. He is also a high performance specialist, helping cricketers improve their physical and mental strength. Vishal has also played for Mumbai, in the top cricketing leagues, and he has earned that experience, and now using that experience to help athletes become stronger and manage their mental and physical workload. So, without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Vishal on our show. Hi, Vishal. Welcome to Cricket Times. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Akshat. It's also a pleasure at mine also to come over here and share my experience out here. And thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Thank you. Beginning our interview with just a formal or really casual question, first and foremost, what is strength and conditioning, if you want to explain in a layman's point of view, because lots of cricket fans are still not, quite familiar with this term.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take it very simple. Let's take it in a very simple terms: strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So if you see uh, the athletic performance, there are three aspects to it, or two aspects, as we have said: strength and conditioning, and the third aspect can be your skills. So what supports your skills to do better is covered in the next two parts, that is strength and conditioning.
Right.
The strength basically, so again in the fitness part that we say, when we say fitness, again it is broken down into these two parts, that is strength and conditioning. Strength
Yeah.
means your ability to actually apply a force behind a particular body or while doing an activity. So when a player he becomes more stronger, he is able to produce that more force while he is playing. So definitely that again benefits his skills in a certain way. And conditioning is basically his ability to keep producing that force again and again, again and again. How much fast he can produce, how much repeatedly he can keep producing that much force. So that comes under conditioning. So when we say fitness, strength and conditioning entails all. How can a player keep producing the force again and again, and how larger force he can produce? So it entails strength and fitness in that terms.
Right. Thank you so much for such an explanation. My next question is that you have played competitive cricket for, I guess, around a decade, in Mumbai, and so I just wanted to ask you that how did your transition, from a player to an SNC coach happen?
Yeah. So looking back at my journey throughout, how it has transformed in these years, is that I always used to play as a batsman in the team, batsman and wicketkeeper in the team. And that required, being a wicketkeeper required me to stay fit to a certain extent, in which I can move better, I can probably execute my skills better. And that made me more into towards doing all my fitness drills, fitness stuff all there. And around a certain age, like around 25, 26, like around 2016 stuff, I understood that I had to make a certain transition in my career in order to keep my finances also going at that time. So that made me a transition into fitness as a career. And throughout the journey, which I started with SNC, it just opened up different portals for me to understand the game in different perspective because I had been just thinking about it as a player for so many years. Suddenly, it got me thinking about the game in a different way. So it opened a whole new perspective to me. So all in all, this journey as a SNC coach has been quite fulfilling so far, and also one of transformation for me, if you look at it. So that's how I sum up my journey so far in SNC. Like it started off with us the need of a certain switch in career due to looking at the finances at that time.
Yeah.
But overall, it has been a fruitful journey so far.
Truly, it is. Let me just, take you back in the time. Back in 2018, you were the player of the match in the finals of Thane Vaibhav tournament. You scored around 143 match-winning innings. Could you tell us about how was that experience?
Okay. So that's like again going back to my playing days.
Yeah,
Uh, Nice for you to actually retrieve that memory. Uh, Great. So let me just go back over there. So it was our corporate match, I think, played at Dadoji Kondev Stadium. I was representing Root Mobile Limited
yeah,
on that time. And I couldn't play the initial league matches due to some reason. And that and I suddenly got the call a day before from the coach that make sure that you are available, uh, like because you are playing the next match. And it was a final. So the first match I played in that tournament was related to the finals,
okay,
and I just went with the flow. Actually, it was a finals, and I just clean slate in my mind. You just had to go out there and express the game, as you know, because you haven't played the league matches. Don't think much about it. Just go out there and maximize whatever you can do on that given ball which you face.
yeah, okay. Vishal, you're known for blending strength and conditioning with yogic principles. So how do you integrate both in your programs?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So coming to the core of it, as I said, that strength and conditioning, it entails looking at the performance aspect of your performance, like performance aspect of your skill. So when I started with strength and conditioning, what I understood one was that हम लोग प्लेयर्स को लेते हैं ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए,
जी,
but what actually drives the performance was the involvement of the player to do that
okay,
session or to do that program. So what drives involvement? Because क्या होता है, players when they are playing the matches, they are in the season, it is about different stuff that is going on in their mind, whether they will get to play the next match, if they are
yeah,
playing, then if their performance is not up to the mark, or if their place secure in the team, if someone is performing, then their ability to keep maintaining the current performance that is going through. So I understood that one thing, that strength and conditioning needs to have that one driving force also, or that one base from which the player involvement can come in more. Plus, even as a player, I used to be very uh, what you say, more drawn towards uh, breath work,
yeah,
meditation, or visualization. Because I remember when I was under 19 or under 23 around that time, I had received a wonderful visualization CD from one of my coaches, Sangam Lad sir, actually. So he had actually given us, even many of the players, a good visualization CD. I remember that. And uh, I got it and I played it in my computer at that time, and it suddenly like resonated with me, like I wanted something of that sort, like I am thinking something,
yeah,
but is it right or not? I was not sure of it. So once I started to hear that more and more, I started to see that difference in my game in terms of confidence. So I had always been that player who drove off confidence. So if my confidence is good, I can go out and score the runs. That was what drove me. So I started to relate that with my practice as a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
Okay, can I find something that is a common resonating ground with me as a coach and the player who is in front of me? And more often than not, I found that uh, exercises like breath work, visualization, meditation, or just sitting and observing the game, observing the breath, just calmed everyone down, and most of them resonated with it. So I started to dig deep into the concepts of yoga. I
Yeah.
completed my certification in yoga from a university, which Yog Vidya Gurukul, and also completed my YCB level 2, which is government certification during the COVID
Right.
times. Why do I mention this? Is because courses like this help me to dig deep into the yogic concepts, which spoke more about how your mental states affect your performance.
Yeah.
Possibly the driving force behind the Western psychology that we say. It is a very huge, yoga has also got a huge base in terms of how psychology impacts everything that we do in day-to-day life. And and we always say for the players, you have to increase your concentration, you have to increase your consistency, you have to increase your awareness.
Yeah.
But how? The question is how. Means seldom do we receive answers by someone on how to do it. We receive the advice that okay, bhai concentration बढ़ा, पढ़ाई करने में concentration बढ़ा. But no one has taught how. How? Tell me how.
Yeah.
So to answer the how, I had to dig deep to make sense of whatever I had to say, and that gave me the different results when I used those concepts with my SNC. And there have been research papers, even in strength and conditioning, which show direct performance gains when there's a
Yeah.
clear connection between the mind and body, mind and muscle connect that we say. When your mind is able to focus on the muscle being trained, the performance results that were obtained were far superior than just the mind is somewhere else and you're doing a particular muscle group exercise. So when your mind and body are connected, the performance gains definitely go up. So I could find that resonance within the concepts as well, the strength and conditioning concepts and the yogic concepts. That they might look different, they might look low intensity and high intensity, but if you look
Yeah.
at the driving force at the base, they both are connected and gradually evolve into the higher intensity. Because anything you have to start with the first gear, gradually go to a
True.
second and third, fourth. So the base at the first gear should be very critical, and the foundation should be as large as possible and as stable as possible. So I could find that from yoga and build performance using the strength and conditioning.
True. True. Nicely. Thank you for explaining because I'm still not. See, I was not aware of the technicalities. What actually yoga and these things, does to a human being, especially if someone is athlete and all. So, thank you for the explanation. Just wanted your attention on. There's a term called evidence-based training. Uh, what does it mean actually?
Yeah, wonderful. Actually, so evidence based training, how I understand it, and what it means is that uh, there is there is a certain performance outcome you have to achieve.
Yeah.
So, what strategy will you take? Whether it is a proven strategy or something that you are just doing and experimenting and finding it out, or it is just something that is not non-productive. So you'd rather want something that is much more evidence-based, something that has been time-tested and proven. So what I understood it was that when we possibly look at the strategies, those are evidence-based. The performance outcomes can be derived in much more less time and even to more effective standards. So
Okay.
what you do when you have to say suppose increase a person's yo-yo scores, aerobic
Yeah.
endurance capacities, or you want to improve certain players runner three capacity, change of direction, or say 20-meter sprint times, or during his in-game speed. So what you do, you look at the data around that you are gathering from all the technology that we use in the sports, uh, like say GPS, you are using GPS and say speed gates for measuring speed, then what sense you make out of the data, and then
Yeah.
you look back at the strategies which are evidence based, that is, that have been proven to say, okay, so you can apply this particular strategy in this particular scenario to obtain whatever results you want in much more faster times, because you don't want to keep hitting
Yeah.
the arrows in dark to find out कि okay ये strategy क्या रहेगा, ये strategy क्या रहेगा. You might be looking at someone who needs to improve his uh, say aerobic endurance capacity or say a speed capacity, but you look at the certain, you might say कि okay, no, you want to improve your aerobic capacity, now just go around and keep running the laps of the ground.
Yeah.
30 मिनट भाग, आज 40 मिनट भाग. दैट इज बिन द ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम ऑफ ट्रेनिंग, कि अगर मुझे वेट कम करना है, मैं जाके राउंड्स मारूंगा. आई जस्ट डू कीप डूइंग कार्डियो. ओके, so you are doing cardio, so that is one of the strategies that you want to implement. But now when you look back at the research papers, what the research papers clearly mention, and you see the performance outcomes of it, it has been clearly
Yeah.
mentioned that strategies like uh, strength training, high intensity interval repeats, training yourself at an intensity that is slightly higher than possibly you can execute in a normal condition, that have been shown to be far more superior than just running long distance at a at a lower than submaximal speeds. When you say कि
Yeah.
आप कैपेसिटी क्या है आपके, वो कैपेसिटी के बहुत कम आप भाग रहे हो, लंबे ड्यूरेशन के लिए भाग रहे हो, आप भाग तो रहे हो बट आप कैलोरीज बर्न करे जा रहे हो, कैलोरीज बर्न करे जा रहे हो.
Hmm.
But the more effective way is to burn the calories at the same time grow the muscles.
Yeah.
Because muscle growth definitely has a direct sliding effect on the fat mass also to burn. So in this case, there's a clear example of evidence-based strategy that you're using. You might have a certain guys around you, friends around you who might be running marathon, and you might seem कि oh यार ये तो भाग रहा है तो ऐसे स्लिम होने का है. But when you look actually at it, there is a certain evidence-based strategy to it. कि सिर्फ long distance से नहीं होगा. You can include these strategies which are far more effective. So this was one
Yeah.
example. If you look at say other example, it can be say speed. So अगर किसी का स्पीड बढ़ाना है आपको, तो अगेन वर्किंग ऑन हिज बॉडी कंपोजिशन कैन ऑल्सो बी यूजफुल. जस्ट रन रादर, स्पीड बढ़ाना है, मैं सिर्फ स्प्रिंट भागूंगा. So
Yeah.
if you look at the whole story, yeah, if you want to specifically increase the speed, run the sprints, but also look at your body composition also when you're starting off. Is it at a right area? Possibly that can give you more sense into picking the right strategy for you. So that is evidence-based strategy. Like you look at the all factors that are there, and then you possibly choose one that is more proven to give the results that you're after in much far lesser time.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Such a beautiful explanation actually. एक चीज जो इन एक्सरसाइजेज या इन ड्रिल्स के संग आती है वो है कि क्या कॉमन चैलेंजेस जो क्रिकेटर्स फेस करते हैं जब भी आप जैसे मान लीजिए किसी क्रिकेटर को ट्रेन करा रहे हैं किसी एथलीट को तो ऐसे कौन से कॉमन चैलेंजेस हैं जो यू गेट टू सी और उसके उस पे आप काम करते हैं.
हाँ. सो काफी काफी एस्पेक्ट्स है ये क्वेश्चन, मतलब ये चीज के लाइक से, जब भी हम लोग स्टार्ट ऑफ द सीजन में आते हैं, हम फिटनेस टेस्ट लेते हैं.
या.
सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ फिटनेस, इफ यू कंसिडर, देर आर थिंग्स दैट वी असेस फॉर, लाइक वी से बॉडी कंपोजिशन हमने कहा. हम लोग देखते हैं कि उसकी मूवमेंट कैपेसिटी कैसी है, मूवमेंट क्वालिटी कैसी है, फिर उसके स्पीड कैपेसिटी कैसी है. जो भी चीजें क्रिकेट में लगती है, उसका स्पीड
या.
लगता है, उसका चेंज ऑफ डायरेक्शन एबिलिटी लगता है, उसका एरोबिक कैपेसिटी लगता है. सो हम लोग ये चीजों के पास देखते हैं, पहले ये चीजें पहले हम लोग एसेस करते हैं, टेस्ट करते हैं, एंड उसके हिसाब से हम लोग प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं. सो इट कैन डिपेंड डिफरेंटली फॉर डिफरेंट इंडिविजुअल्स, लाइक इफ दैट्स व्हाट यू इंटेंड टू सी इट, बिकॉज हर रोल के हिसाब से भी उसकी कैपेसिटी अलग होने वाली है. एक बैट्समैन को पॉसिबली 10 मीटर्स 20 मीटर्स में तेज होना चाहिए, चेंज ऑफ डायरेक्शन
या.
कैपेसिटी बेटर चाहिए, क्योंकि वो ज्यादातर फील्डिंग वो 30 यार्ड सर्कल में करेगा. एक फास्ट बॉलर पॉसिबल जो बाउंड्री पे खड़ा रहेगा और फास्ट बॉलिंग करता रहेगा, उसकी पॉसिबली लीनियर स्पीड्स आप देखोगे, उसकी रनिंग मैकेनिक्स आप देखोगे, उसकी एरोबिक कैपेसिटी देखोगे. सो आप पोजीशन वाइज भी देखते हो कि हर एक प्लेयर की क्या नीड है, तो आप ट्राई करते हो कि आप हर एक प्लेयर को समझ ले, उसकी टेस्ट रिजल्ट्स आपको क्या बता रही है, एंड फिर आप कितना जनरल वे में पर्सनलाइज कर सकते हो प्रोग्राम को। वो
या
जरूर जब आप टीम में वर्क करते हो कि आपको देखना है कि हर एक प्लेयर को क्या नीड है। जैसे कि ये क्वेश्चन है कि एक प्लेयर की नीड क्या हो सकती है। सो टीम, आप दो एंगल से सोचते हो, प्लेयर के हिसाब से भी कि प्लेयर की नीड क्या है और टीम की नीड
या
क्या है।
ओके
सो ये सवाल का जवाब वैसे रहेगा कि फॉर हिम his speed also needs to go up to certain extent, his body composition also needs to go up to certain extent. So body
या
composition can be in a personal capacity and speed in terms of team's capacity, which will definitely
ट्रू
benefit the player as well, कि स्पीड बढ़ गया तो उसको भी बेनिफिट होने वाला है, और उसका बॉडी कंपोजिशन कम हो गया तो फिर ऑटोमेटिकली उसकी रिकवरी बेटर होने वाली है। his ability to produce high performance in crunch situation is also going to go up. So you think
या
in bold perspective कि क्या नीड लग सकती है, टीम की क्या नीड्स है, पर इंडिविजुअल की क्या नीड है, एंड देन यू ट्राई टू फिक्स इन द जिक्सॉ पजल वेर एवर पॉसिबल।
ओके 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 Vishal, moving on, you are working with Mumbai team, एंड मुंबई की एक बहुत रिच हिस्ट्री है क्रिकेट में। डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे चाहे रणजी ट्रॉफी हो, सईद मुश्ताक हो, बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट्स मुंबई जीत रखे हैं। और मुंबई हैज ऑलवेज बीन दैट ब्रीडिंग ग्राउंड फॉर क्रिकेटर्स, एंड इट हैज प्रोड्यूस सो मेनी इंटरनेशनल स्टार्स। सो ऐसी टीम के संग काम करने का हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस?
या वंडरफुल, जस्ट वन वर्ड इफ आई वांट टू से, इट्स
या
वंडरफुल। एंड व्हाई इफ आई वांट टू से इज बिकॉज uh, there is no aspect that is untouched when you are with teams that are at the top of the ladder. Every player brings their own character to the team. They have their own ways of doing things,
या
and that itself teaches you many things. Like, if you see the Mumbai team itself, you have players like Shardul, you have players like Shreyas, Ajinkya Rahane. We had Rohit Sharma come over and play, Yashasvi Jaiswal come over and play this season for the game against Jammu Kashmir.
या
You have Tushar Deshpande, Dhaval Kulkarni. So Shivam Dubey, everyone has played for India,
या
and and not just played for India, but they have dominated over at that level also. So if you see them, each and everyone, like say, if I want to say something about what I'm learning from each and everyone. So as a professional, it is not just from the strength and conditioning books that I'm learning.
या
It is about, it is what I'm learning by observing these players also. So if I speak about Shardul, what I see, the way he's particular about all his preparations. If you look at it, he is someone who probably knows his body like really at a top level. Like he understands the uh, small intricacies of how his body is moving that day, how much he
या
needs. So कि आज मुझे कितने stretching की जरूरत है. Like to that level, he understands his body. Like there was once a situation during Vijay Hazare, or Vijay has been continued throughout the season, Vijay Hazare and Ranji Trophy. So we used to do the daily warm up में band work जो हम लोग करते हैं for all the hip mobility and everything. So on some days he didn't used to do that. On some days he used to do that. So just we had a very good conversation around it. That okay, so I just asked him, "You want to do the band work?" No, I'm just feeling good about it. The next day, during the next game, no, so I just asked him, "Do you want to do today?" Yeah, I want to do today. So just looking at that thing, I just asked him, "So why did you feel that you didn't want to do the other day?" He said, "No, I had felt better when I had released it previously with my physio. So I just felt that my body is very good in shape and I can go out and produce my best performance." So that just shows how a player can be more aware of his own body.
या
Just it is not a rocket science ki you have to sit with a book to understand how your muscle moves or how a joint moves. You can, as a player, be just observant of how uh, on a given day how my body is moving. That can probably help you in performance. So that makes me learn ki okay, how even I can be more prepared or more aware of how the small things can be taken better care of. If you
या
see uh, other guy, if you want to see Shreyas, his confidence is something that just drives off everyone,
True.
because someone who is very clear on what he wants to do, and once he has set his mind towards it, he knows he has to go in that direction. Simple as that. It might work, it might not work, but he is very clear on what he wants to do on that particular situation. So again,
Yeah.
so these are the things that you're learning when you're with teams like this. It is not like one way approach that you can have, that I'm the coach, you have to learn from me, or whatever I say is the way ahead. It is about including all these personalities, within you as well. That if you want
Yeah.
to work with them, like it is like that puzzle. One piece fits into another one. So you have to be the perfect gaps at sometimes wherein that character can fit in, or sometimes you have to
Yeah.
be the character which can fit in that particular gap. And overall, it is the attitude of the team that drives everyone forward, because there are instances in the team where some matches don't go our way, but then collectively, how the team bounces back. And Mumbai has been known for that. If you see Khadu's attitude that we
True.
say,
True. True.
uh, like uh, I've been always trying to think of what Khadusness means, and how much ever I think it is about. It all comes down to this thing: is that okay? Today I'm down, tomorrow again I will be up. Today I'm down, tomorrow again I will be up. In this situation I am down, next situation I will be up. So, like if you see, even this whole season, it has been like that. Like if you see our specifically, just like to go back to a certain few situations. The top
Okay.
contributors have been, say, Shams Mulani, Tanush Koti, and
Yeah.
Shardul. In some games, possibly if the batters didn't click, these three have been running the show in the batting whenever the chips are down. Whenever the
True.
bats score, it's like we are hitting the big scores. Like say the game against Maharashtra, Shreyas got 100, Ayush Matre got 100. So, but if the chips are down on certain matches, if these players batters cannot perform, players like Shams, Tanush, Shardul have already uh, put their hand up in terms of batting. Whatever the role, they can just come in and do it. So these are the
Yeah.
learnings that you get when you're with the team. And how can you not perform? How can you not push yourself to be at your own best if you're with these kind of guys? So it
True.
naturally
True.
brings the best in you, because otherwise these players are smart enough to understand with whom they have to work with. And unless and until you yourself are keeping on upgrading yourself, you will find it difficult to deal with the increasing intensities that go with teams like Mumbai playing the finals of almost every other
Yeah.
tournament. So yeah, just a journey which you have to keep on upgrading yourself and learning as you go.
True. Must have been a surreal feeling. I can imagine. Vishal, you have, of course, worked with these international stars, Ajinkya Rahane, Shreyas Iyer. In the recent past, Mumbai cricket has seen quite a few success, like winning the Syed Mushtaq. Then back in days, they won the Ranji as well. You were part of the squad, as a SNC coach. You saw the success from quite near. So, if I may ask you about, regarding the leadership qualities of both Ajinkya Rahane and Shreyas Iyer, how do you see them as a leader, and how do you rate them?
Yeah. So rather than rating, I will just put my observations and learning, because
Okay.
each of them bring their own character to the table, and both have been magnificent in the way they have led, because both of them have led the team to trophies in whichever tournament they have led in. Uh, with Ajinkya, we had Syed Mushtaq Ali, Irani Ranji Trophy. With Shreyas, we had the Syed Mushtaq Ali this year. Probably this was the only season he played throughout my tenure. So, as I said, with Shreyas, it is more of that flamboyance, that clarity. Uh, whatever team you have or whatever facilities you have, try to make most out of it, has been the mantra.
Yeah.
I feel that whenever he takes up the leadership cap on him. Uh, one one thing is that he one thing that I have liked about his style is that probably what he has been able to influence the team is that uh, thinking in terms of energy as well. Like I remember one instance where when the team meeting, he had just mentioned about how how to uh, think also in a way. So in the team meeting,
Yeah.
whenever I think we were playing against one of the top teams, so the clear message by him was, "Okay, there might be a star player in that team, or that might be a good player in that team. Uh, no one gives energy to his performance, because the moment
Okay.
you're giving energy to his performance, you're also helping him perform.
Yeah.
Rather, focus on your own energies, focus on your own performance, and that's the only thing that is going to bring the best out of you." And the results are there to see. We won the Syed Mushtaq Trophy as well. So
Yeah.
that struck to me that all these elite players are also thinking in terms of energy. Again, as we say, the resonance of yoga and strength and conditioning, where
Yeah.
yoga is basically talking about how you manage your energies, the internal energies with it. So that struck with me. And speaking of Ajinkya, it has been like a journey of understanding what calmness can bring you. I have known Ajinkya since school days because we played together
Okay.
in during our school time. And then his cricket graduated to a whole new different level. And always we have been looking up at him as a player, uh, as a leadership material, and with the calmness that he exudes on the ground. He
Yeah.
just brings that stability to the team, the way he handles the team. Everyone respects him in that sense because uh, to handle a team like Mumbai, which is full of stalwarts, you
True.
need to have a leader who is equally respected
Yeah.
and someone whom you can actually look at and follow. And that respect, that calmness, that attitude Ajinkya brings to the team. So it's a flamboyance in a different way, is what I feel.
True. True.
Learn a lot. He's someone who is like very particular about everything that he does, like uh, his training, his recovery strategies, his food. So what happens is that players, when they see their leader doing certain things, they but naturally follow him.
Yeah.
So they don't need a second telling. So that actually eases even my job as a SNC coach, because the players are seeing the leader themselves do the stuff right. So
Yeah.
uh, automatically everyone starts to fall in the line, and everyone is geared towards performance because everyone knows what is expected of them. But the discipline is what makes the real difference. Like everyone knows, any team if you take in India, everyone knows what they have to do. But what is going
Yeah.
to drive the performance really is the discipline and the uh, fire within to achieve that. And that's what we have been uh, happy to learn from looking at Ajinkya's leadership over the years. And also, I would like to mention the coaches I have worked around with, because it has been Amol Muzumdar, sir,
Yeah.
Omkar Savi, sir, and so all the uh, combinations that these guys have set up with the coach and captain. So it is a wonderful thing to see that when the leadership group is stable and uh, secure enough to give us the freedom to execute
Yeah.
whatever we want to execute, even as a player, even as a support staff, then the magical results can be driven more efficiently and more consistently.
True.
So
True.
yeah, so that's why I would like to fit in the role of coach also. I have worked with the two coaches during my tenure, Amol Musumdar and Omkar Savi, and that is the thing which I found, like the resonance between the captain and the coach, which has been the hallmark for Mumbai in this 4 years to achieve whatever trophies we have, or whatever performance we have performed.
True. 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 I mean, I could imagine that they are the like the driving force behind, maintaining this team as a team. Uh, Quite underrated roles, Mr. Mazumdar and Mr. Salvi had. Uh, Moving on, how do you think, what's the difference when you train athletes, when you train cricketers first set of cricketers who are internationally acclaimed, like Ajinkya and Shreyas, and then there are others who are yet to, earn the national cap or earn the national color. Uh, is there any difference when you sort of train them, or is there no difference?
Yeah. Wonderful question. Actually, so it goes deep actually, in a sense that the players who have played for India coming down at the domestic level, they first we have to understand what has made them take that leap to the next level.
Yeah,
Is that at some point they stuck to a certain discipline, stuck a certain routine that they wanted to build, and then they followed it confidently and consistently, and that made them leap over there.
okay,
Uh, a guy who is coming into the team or trying to make his space in the team is probably knowing what he wants to do, probably has the discipline also to do it consistently day in, day out, the intensity as well, the discipline, everything he has. But
yeah,
possibly the second element that I said about the confidence, the ability to trust in something that has not happened yet
yeah,
will definitely happen.
true,
So how much a player can believe in what will be happening probably sets them apart. As I said about the energy, about Shreyas, one of the top guys. If you see his journey, probably at the IPL, he I think he didn't go ahead with KKR, took the proper uh, step back and entered the auctions. And you see what results he got. Let's say I think 25 CR around that, or
yeah,
24, 20, whatever amount he was bid at. So it was just possibly a gamble, if you can say, or whatever you want to say to it. But it is the ability to believe in something that has not happened yet.
true,
That sets your confidence on a very different level. Because no one knows what is going to happen if you do this thing in a certain way.
true,
But what I have observed throughout my years is that these players who are graduated to the next level have been somehow able to do that. They have been mad
yeah,
enough to believe that they can drive a certain outcome. Yeah, everyone does process. Who has not uh, understood the importance of process? The moment MS Dhoni uttered the word called process,
yeah,
world stuck to it. Probably process, process, process. Probably there have been people before MS Dhoni also speaking the same thing. After MS Dhoni also speaking the same thing. Process, process, process. So everyone has been doing the process. Why only
true,
certain few are making the leap?
yeah,
Is it just the ability to see the unseen, believe it that it will happen at its own time, and then keep doing day in, day out, whatever you have been doing with the same intensity? So you are keeping your energies directed towards whatever you want to achieve or whatever you want to see happen in your life. And that that is probably the secret ingredient. If you see the Kung Fu Panda movie, I've been much uh, I relate with it with for myself also. That secret ingredient. Everyone does the same thing. Everyone creates the soup, but the secret
yeah,
ingredient is the involvement that you do it. So possibly this is the secret ingredient that is different. So because trust me, none of the players as of now I have trained with Ranji Trophy have not shown the intensity or not shown the readiness to train.
yeah,
I've been happy. Or if someone is making from under 19 team to a Ranji Trophy team for the first time, coming up for the first time, they might not be ready or they might not have done that much training in their age groups. But I have seen them enthused about training. They're enthusiastic
yeah,
about it. It's not that they are not enthusiastic about training. Yeah, you can probably coach them. You can probably sit with them one to one, get them understand the importance of training, and you see that shift happening at some point in their career. And
true.
the one who is able to do that uh, in the way we discuss right now, probably look at the unseen and hit the intensity right there and there, can probably see himself take the leap to the next level.
Okay, all right. Vishal, can you share like any specific drills or conditioning routines that you have designed like a go-to move for cricketers?
Yeah. So conditioning, as we said at the start of the podcast, itself, that it is the ability to keep producing the same force at a certain speed uh,
Yeah,
again and again, again and again, again and again, or to a certain duration of time. So, if you see in cricket, how much time does the game happen, and how much time does the specific action happens? The game can be for 6 hour duration, but if you break it down into the particular action, it is possibly say 10 to 15 seconds. The bowler takes the run up, bowls the ball, batsman plays, the fielder retrieves the ball, and ball is back to the bowler. So it is around
yeah,
10 to 15 seconds. So you see that it is much more fast. uh, Aerobic base is needed, but at the same time, you need to have an anaerobic capacity to hit the ball in that short duration, chase the ball, come back, or possibly run the runs in between.
yeah.
So, uh, if you look at it, how can you train the players for these 15 seconds and the 6 hours in a integrated way? Is whole conditioning about. So when we plan conditioning, it is about looking at the season as a whole. Luckily, at say Ranji Trophy level, first class level, we get the liberty to uh, periodize the programs for our players, wherein there is a clear off-season period, there's a clear pre-season period, there is a clear in-season period, and there is a recovery period. If you see international calendar, it is usually difficult for those athletes who are playing for India to find those windows. Like say
Yeah.
they get a break of say max 3 weeks, not more than that. But in Ranji Trophy, we have the liberty of doing that. So what happens is that when we are in the off season, the focus is more towards building the base of the athletes. Once we have retrieved the assessment scores of the players, uh, the session can look towards having integrating long intervals into the training. Say possibly like say initially it can be say 800 meters runs or 400-meter
Yeah,
runs of the track. Intervals in a way, like say you run 400 meters, take 1:1 recovery, again go for the next lap. It can be say 4 to 5 reps. Uh, for 800 meters, it can be a pyramid that you're building, like say 100, 100, 200, 400, 800, and again going
yeah,
down. Uh, you can probably on certain days, you can probably build a tempo as well of long tempos. If that's the need of that particular player, as I said, team needs are there and individual needs are there. Uh, then I make it a point to include some aspect of speed work even in the off season, because
okay,
speed is one uh, thing that drops very fast.
yeah,
So make sure that some aspect of speed is touched throughout the week, possibly on the field if rains permit, or there are some different ways of training speed in gym settings as well. So
yeah,
make sure that those abilities are being trained in off season. As we come into the preseason, then we shift more towards shorter intervals, like say 80 meters or
yeah,
speed work, like uh, you're getting them to hit the top end speeds, like 40 meters, 20 meters they are doing. So just they are
yeah,
building up the capacity to accumulate that speeds in more volumes, because what happens when they're going into the game, they are not going to get much time to actually work on their conditioning. So
yeah.
pre-season can
True.
be a good time to cover these bases also. And come in season, it is more of including the speed work, as I said, because speed drops. So those speed works are integrated in the warm-ups only. And on certain match days practice days before the games, if a player is in good condition, if his role allows him to do, like say batters can do, good
Yeah,
tempos or high speed repeats, like say 50-meter runs repeated for say 10 repetitions or 14 repetitions, looking at whichever volume is good for that particular player. You can look at the GPS data and make sense out of it. For fast bowlers, it can be just making sure that the rhythm remains better, like say 30 meters rhythm runs can be a good strategy for them.
yeah,
Uh, in case they don't want to bowl but keep the volume in their legs going, so 30 meters can be a good time. Uh, top top strategy is like say 100 meters run throughs for during pre-seasons. You go 100 meters, you walk back, you run 100 meters, meters, or like swim distance can be 80 meters or 100 meters, like say intensive and extensive tempos that they can do. So yeah, so overall, you try to figure out which phase the player is in, the team is
Yeah.
in, what can be a collective plan as well as an individualist plan. As I said, case someone has a goal of say body composition, improving his body composition, it can he can probably go and his role is say as a batter. Probably he's not as intense as a fast bowler, so you
Yeah.
can get him more towards conditioning aspects as well, pull him more into a gym as well whenever needed. So it's about that mix and match and trying to fit in the puzzle of the team scheme also and individual scheme also.
Yeah. Correct. Thank you. Moving on to our next question. What aspects of, because you are a SNC coach and you do all these things related to physical fitness and mental fitness as well. So what aspects of yogic science have you found most beneficial for cricketers? Like, for example, is it flexibility or breath control or anything else?
Yeah. So when you say yoga, it entails a whole umbrella of different aspects which can help in performance.
Yeah.
Uh, you choose a few. You derive benefits out of each and everything. Even considering physical aspects, if you say yoga, which generally people understand as asanas,
Yeah. Yeah.
understand that yoga asanas is just one part of what yoga as a whole offers.
Okay.
So when we say yoga, it's Ashtanga yoga. So there are eight parts to it, like yama, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, uh, dharana, dhyan, samadhi.
Okay.
So what I try to understand over here is how can a player benefit from all these eight steps of yoga. So if I want to just break them down in a layman's term, is
Yeah.
that the first two parts are yama and niyam, are basically the rules that you have for yourself and when you are with society or in athletes perspective a team. He's with his team, so how you behave in that. Also it is very important for a player because once he starts to acquire that fame, name, everything, the way he behaves in that society also comes back.
Yeah.
So yama and niyama are basically rules around yourself, how you are going to behave, uh, what uh, what characteristic rules, what character you want to present to the society out there.
Yeah.
It is not about making the society happy about you, like pleasing society, but it is about being yourself in society. How
Yeah.
you can be a satisfied individual when you are in the society culture and when you are alone with yourself. How can you be yourself with yourself, upgrading yourself consistently. So yama and niyama are basically rules which uh, take you towards there. Coming to the third step, that is asana. Uh, so there's a nice definition of asana given in Patanjali Yoga Sutras.
Okay.
That is sthiram sukham, which means that anything that is uh, comfortable and stable is an asana.
All right.
So that so you can just understand the depth of it. It is not only just speaking to the physical aspect of comfort. It is also speaking about stable, like a physical aspect of mental aspect of comfort, but also the physical aspect of stability.
Yeah.
And it can be interchangeable also. You can say mind has to be stable, definitely, and body has to be comfortable. The mind also has to be comfortable and body has to be stable. So say what is the as much as I know as a cricketer, I have been a batsman, uh,
Yeah.
even any players who have been playing any sport, the first thing that our coaches used to tell us was to keep your head stable.
True. True.
When you're batting, keep your head stable.
Yeah.
And the asana itself, at its root, is talking about stability. To increase your flexibility, obviously, you want to hold the pose in a certain uh, position for a certain period of time. So here comes the question of your evidence-based strategy also.
Yeah.
So evidence-based strategy again has to be considered from the perspective also. When thinking of terms of high performance, speed, or force output, research suggests that possibly stretching out for a certain duration might not be beneficial for force production. So an optimal time
Okay.
can be 30 seconds to 1 minute. But if you consider the evidence from yogic perspective,
Yeah.
the show changes to, okay, if you hold the pose for a duration of time, your mind is going to get stable.
Okay.
So evidence-based strategy, uh, the the outcome changes from the perspective which you look at it. What is the goal
Yeah.
you want?
True.
What is the goal you want to achieve? So Sthiram Sukhamasnam, every technique, every skill technique speaks about the same thing. Keep your head stable, keep your body stable, be relaxed. You don't want to
Yeah.
hold that tight. It should be comfortable in your hand. So Sthiram Sukham, if you are stable and comfortable in your batting stance, that is the best way to be. It's just not
True.
have meditative pose. It is the definition is simple Sthiram Sukham Asana. It is not saying that you want to sit still, not
Yeah.
moving. It can be moving. Then comes the fourth step, that is pranayama, that is the breath work that we usually understand. Pranayama, breath work. You understand it in that way because the exercise deal with breath. But what
Yeah.
are you actually do is basically understand the way your energies are behaving in your body to regulate it in a better way so that you can actually optimize the performance that you want to see.
Yeah.
Like, why do we train conditioning? Is
True.
because we want to be efficient with our energy. हम लोग उसी एक्टिविटी को कितना कम एनर्जी यूज करके कर सकते हैं. पहले मैं 100 मीटर सपोज भागने में मेरा सो एंड सो एनर्जी जाता था.
Hmm.
So I was burning, say, for example, 50 calories. For earlier, I used to burn 100 meters के लिए 50 calories. Now I can do it in, say, possibly 40 calories. Just
Yeah.
giving an example. Or possibly the breath more stable at this time. The better understanding is heart rate that you do. First, I used to run interval, say, 200 meters के मैंने 8 मार दिया around. In 200 meters, 8. That is one session that we do. That's a very good intervals session that we do. Heart rate can go at a very high level, say 150, 160 also. But now, after conditioning, you have become more efficient and possibly you are able to do that, say 5 beats slower or 10 beats slower.
Yeah.
Ability to come back to 120 heartbeats has become much faster. So basically, क्या हो रहा है आप? अब energy efficient हो रहे हो.
True.
Pranayama is, end of the day, speaking of the same. You are becoming energy efficient by using breath as a tool.
Yeah.
We think that it's a breathing exercise, but if you look at the deeper understanding of it, you're actually looking at managing your energy and becoming more efficient towards it. You're allowing your energy to store more oxygen, which can be circulated throughout your body to help the muscles recover faster.
Yeah. True.
And then comes the Pratyahara part, which is actually a bridge between the outer uh, focus and inner world. The outer world and the inner world, if you say. What we say, concentrate
Yeah.
करो. So, क्या concentrate कैसे करें? So, Pratyahara is the bridge, basically,
Okay.
which helps your body to be the tool to direct your mind towards that body, whatever activity
Okay.
you're doing. So, that is just a bridge. So, basically, we are practicing the Pratyahara. And then Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, the yogic states that it has to be practiced as a unit together. It might be three, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, but you practice them together. Concentration, a continuous flow of thoughts in the same direction, and then
Yeah.
becoming one with the action. So if I want to say simplify it much better, uh, what does a player do? He visualizes. He does. If he wants to say a batsman है उसको cover drive अच्छा मारना है, वो क्या
Hmm.
करेगा? वो आके फिजिकल प्रैक्टिस किया, उसको कोच ने उसके फीडबैक दिया. वो क्या कर रहा है? घर पे जा रहा है, विजुलाइज कर रहा है कि उसको वो शॉट किस तरह से मारना है, किस तरह से मारना है, अलग बॉलर को मैं किस तरह से मारूंगा, किस तरह से मारूंगा. The
True.
more, so he has done the physical repetitions, now he's doing the mental repetitions as well. Dharana, because now that becomes your dharana, you have become one. You have held that thought for more duration of time. So now what that
Yeah.
thought does is it imbibes itself in you, which becomes dhyana.
True. True.
Is concentration at its highest level, if I can say, or awareness, that it just becomes one with your action. and that's where you reach the excellence, that is samadhi. It
Yeah.
might in yogi concept, what people have understood samadhi matlab, just going to the higher states. You are going to Himalayas and sitting
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
taking a samadhi, possibly leaving your body. But if you understand leaving your body in a way that in skill outcome, you are now so not concerned about your body that your mind takes over and it just plays subconsciously whatever shots you want to play.
Yeah.
So you have basically let go of your body.
True.
We
True.
concept what we understand समाधि उसने body छोड़ दिया. So basically you are living and yet you have left your body to take your mind into a subconscious mode, a cruise mode, that you are just hitting the shots on their own. The way the ball is coming, you're not thinking, you're just hitting the ball, analyzing the situations and playing.
Yeah.
So your dharana and samadhi are working together. Your practice so far with most of the repetitions. Now the skill has imbibed within you, which is the dhyan, and now the skill which has been imbibed in you goes into a cruise mode in samadhi.
True.
बॉल
True.
देखा, ऑटोमेटिकली बैट छूट गया. यू जस्ट इमेजिन अगर एक शोएब अख्तर आपको बॉल डाल रहा है 150 या 160 के पेस पे, आप क्या ही थॉट के लिए टाइम दोगे,
Uh-huh.
क्या थॉट दोगे आप. सो योर बॉडी इज इन क्रूज मोड ओनली. यू सी द बॉल, यू हिट द बॉल. सिंपल.
Yeah.
So that's a cruise mode. Basically,
Autopilot mode.
you're just let go of your body, let go of
Yeah.
your body, let go of your mind, and you're just cruising. So yeah,
True.
that's
True.
in a nutshell, that can be Ashtanga yoga
Yeah.
that a player can look at in a whole terms. We don't need to be going into the Himalayas every time, is what I feel. कि Himalayas
Yeah.
में yoga कर रहे हैं. But if you understand it in a nutshell, you can look at it. Again, going back, yoga, yama and niyam, how you are being with your own self, and when you're with
Yeah.
society. Asana, something that is comfortable and stable at the same time. How you move, how you hold your body. Pranayama, how you manage your energies and optimize them. Pratyahara, the bridge towards concentration. Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, becoming one with the action and letting go into the cruise mode.
True. Thank you for such an explanation. Got to know so many technical things about yoga. Moving on to our next question, Vishal. If I may ask you, if you could work with any international athlete other than cricket, who would it be?
Like a player or a sport you want to.
Any sports person.
Okay. Uh, actually, I have not. Actually, it's a good question. I have not given a thought to it. Uh, actually, I love tennis.
Yeah.
So someone from tennis fraternity, it
Okay.
can be tennis or even table tennis for that matter, because I like the way the sport is, uh,
Yeah.
the way duration of the game in tennis. It is a you never know for how much duration the game can go,
True.
and the capacity, the endurance capacity, at the same time the ability to keep on producing force can be higher. So I would have loved to work with Roger Federer, but now he has retired. Uh, for many reasons. Just because I always used to see this in that way, that whenever I used to see Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer play,
Yeah.
Nadal was more like a beast, like going
True.
around court end to end, just hitting like a beast, running here and there, hitting the odd corners and everything. His opponent is Roger Federer, who is as opposite to him, calm, relaxed,
Yeah.
playing peacefully. So what drives that gracefulness? What uh, makes him execute his fitness with that calmness? It is
True.
different for everyone. Like say, it is not that Nadal is might not be calm. He has his own routines going around.
Yeah.
That probably makes him calm. But it is a marvel. It has always been a marvel to me to understand tennis and Roger Federer in that way. That calmness that he exudes. So yeah. So definitely, if I get the opportunity, uh, definitely go in. Obviously, Roger Federer is a dream, but overall, I can try to work with tennis players, because
Okay.
that's one sport which I like to follow apart from cricket.
All right. Moving on, our last question of this segment. What advice would you like to give to young athletes who are aspiring to play professional cricket in terms of fitness and discipline?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it is actually a very good concept called long-term athlete development. So we as coaches actually follow it, try to follow it.
Yeah.
That's to at what age the athlete is in, how he has to train, he or she has to train. So if you look at the concept itself, if you look at the underlying uh, foundations of it, it is
Yeah.
about optimizing the player at the capacity at which he is at that particular age. So any player or any parent, why I say parent is because many young players have their parents involved with the game. Say up to under 14, under 16 levels, parents are very much involved in how the player is shaping up.
Yeah.
After 19, possibly the involvement recedes to a certain extent. Obviously, it is there, but it comes down to a certain extent. But under 14s and under 16 is where parents are also involved. So what we have to look at is that the player and the parent should first understand what exactly needs to be trained and at what age it needs to be allowed to prosper or allowed to develop.
Okay.
Because uh, you don't eat the fruit the same day you plant the tree.
True.
And I have seen that at grassroots levels many times. Parents or even players, they start doing something. 3 months is the uh, it's the what you say threshold of their patience. Result nahi mil raha hai.
Yeah.
And the kid is 12-year-old. I mean, like, what are we looking at over here? That is the age where a player has to just learn to train.
Yeah.
First, the player learns to train, then he trains to train, then he trains to compete, and then he trains to win. So
True.
every player or parent who is going to look at or watch this podcast out here is probably can understand this is that once you uh, once you select a good coach to work with, once you have understood how the coach's approach is going to be, it can be a skill coach, it can be your strength and conditioning coach, then give the time for the program or the concept that the coach wants to implement to
Yeah.
give fruits in its own time. Yeah, you
True.
can always have a productive discussion with the coach. Ki, okay, I think this strategy might not be working. We can approach it in a different way. Can we approach it in a different way? Yeah. So if the coach also is open-minded enough to discuss and understand the perspective of the coach or the parent, sorry, parent or the player, then we are looking for a very productive outcome out of it. So first thing is that to select a good coach, give yourself time to see those results going in. Develop the discipline. Develop the discipline to do whatever the program has been set. It can be fitness, it can be your skill work, importantly your
Yeah.
nutrition also. Uh, Up to the age of 16 or 19, be uh, be open and be playful towards whatever you're doing, because you it shouldn't be के एक 12 साल या 14 साल के बच्चे को एक न्यूट्रिशन प्लान पे बिठा दिया हम लोग ने,
True.
फिर that takes the fun out of their life. You uh, coach them or teach them about what the uh, healthy choices should be, and
Yeah.
as a player try to stick to it as much as possible in a week, because young kid है, if he's in a good body composition zone जहाँ पे उसका fat management का issue नहीं, because there are many fat kids who also come up and do so, different strategy for them definitely, but someone who is lean enough, who is looking at the sport in a serious way,
Yeah.
so they can probably look at more choices, have a pool of choices to select your food from, to select your activities from, rather than doing it as a compulsory thing. Because compulsion
Yeah.
is not going to take the creative out from you. और
True.
क्रिएटिव होना है तो फिर आपको आपके वेज खुद फाइंड आउट करने पड़ेंगे. So, and that will happen when you approach that with a secure mindset. Okay, even if I fail, I will get the second day to come and do whatever I have to do. So that
Yeah.
mindset can be developed by the players. Develop a pool of choices for food specifically. Develop good sleeping habits, good reading habits. Why reading habits and good sleeping habits is because it will help you to recover much better.
Yeah.
When you read, you are basically helping your mind to train itself in a different context. And then you sleep, you are allowing it to ingrain itself and help you recover much more faster, regenerate yourself much more faster. So it is
True.
about, as a young cricketer or young athlete, develop good routines, be playful around it, don't fall into compulsions. If you're
Yeah.
a very underage, say under 19 and below, under 19 and above, start to be more specific. You can, because now you are entering into the league of uh, professional players. So be more specific over there. Over there, you are the boss of your own journey because now parents का involvement थोड़ा कम होते जा रहा है. Start to speak, because what I observe is that young players fail to speak. Unless and until they're going to speak, they're not going to be able to say what is there in their mind, and that uh, coach is not going to understand until unless it is verbally given to him. He might make some sense out of your movements, but when you speak it out, you can possibly arrive at a very good advice
True.
for it. So yeah, so in a context again, be disciplined, know your choices, work with professionals, and be secure. Don't think about अगर ये नहीं होगा तो, think about ये होगा तो क्या हुआ.
बिल्कुल. True. True. All right. Thank you, Vishal. Now, moving on to our next segment of this interview. It's gonna be a rapid fire round. So I
Yeah,
hope you must be aware of what rapid fire is. I'm gonna be asking you few questions, and you're supposed to come up with immediate answers. So,
okay.
are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Favorite cricketer to train, past or present?
Virat Kohli.
Okay. Favorite exercise of all time.
Deadlift.
All right. One fitness myth that needs to be busted.
uh, on fitness में डाइटिंग से वेट कम होगा.
All right. Most disciplined cricketer you have worked with.
अजिंक्य रहाणे.
All right. Uh, your
Actually,
three.
it will be injustice if I just say one name, because
Okay. Okay.
I've been lucky enough to work with most of the disciplined guys.
All right. All right. You saved yourself there. Okay. So, your three favorite cricketers of all time.
Virat Kohli,
Yeah.
uh, Sachin Tendulkar, and Glenn McGrath.
Last question of this round. If not a coach, what would Vishal Chitrakar be doing today?
Not a coach. Uh, Possibly in a digital marketing company
Okay.
or anything. I don't know. I can go, or
Okay.
even as an athlete. I could be an athlete
Okay.
or
Okay.
write books author. I don't know.
Uh,
Many things.
okay. Thank you, Vishal, for such an engaging chat. Just wanted to add this chat by saying तुमच्याशी बोलून खूप आनंद झाला.
Oh,
मला मराठी येत नाही, पण मी मनापासून प्रयत्न केला.
अरे खूप छान प्रयत्न होता आणि ऍक्च्युली खूप मजा आली. आणि मी एकदम फ्रीली बोलू शकलो. जे पण क्वेश्चन्स होते पॉसिबली मी त्याला ट्राय केलं की जेवढं मी त्याला माझ्या अंडरस्टँडिंग प्रमाणे उत्तर देऊ शकतो. तर
Yeah.
मजा आली मला पण. ऍक्च्युली तर फ्री फ्लोईंग होता. फक्त काय काय कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल झाले शेवटचे जे 3 प्लेयर्स नाव. बट या इट इज फन. And it is a good thing that actually I can put the things up in a different perspective also.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? Just finishing things up.
No, so yeah, good discussion in a way, like the topics that we covered, strength and conditioning. So, strength and conditioning, the trainings that can be possibly done by players, the approach of Mumbai team players, the stars players that have worked with, what I have learned from it, uh, what young players can learn from it. So, I think it will be more useful if The players start their journey with a right mindset and with right guidance. Reach
Yeah.
out to right coaches is what I would re- is what I would recommend also, because that will put your career on a right track. And whatever sport you are playing, possibly understand this one thing, that sport is just one branch of life.
Yeah.
If you make your life good, that is, the life is a tree. If you're watering the tree well, the branch will automatically eventually give sweet fruits.
True.
So treat life in a better way. What yoga concepts that we discussed, if
Yeah.
you optimize your life, automatically your career is going to skyrocket, is what uh, my understanding has been so far. My experience has been so far.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vishal, for such
Thank
an
you, Akshat.
engaging conversation. It was really our pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Akshat. It was fun talking. Yeah.